Hi, I'm Lyndon Albright, and I'm doing my PowerPoint presentation on the Tri-State Tornado of 1925. On March 18, 1925, the Great Tri-State Tornado tore across southeast Missouri, southern Illinois, and southwest Indiana. With its rapid movement and monstrous size, the tornado took hundreds of lives and injured thousands. The Tri-State Tornado was a rare event, an event few people will experience in a lifetime. There were 13 counties affected and 19 plus communities affected as well. The tornado was on the ground for 219 miles. It killed 695 people, which is a record for a single tornado, injured 2,027, and destroyed 15,000 homes. It all started around 1 p.m. just northwest of Ellington, Missouri, where one farmer was killed. From there, the tornado raced to the northeast, killing 2 people and inflicting $500,000 in damage upon the mining town of Indiana. Departing the Ozarks, the storm headed across the farmland of Boiler County, injuring 32 children in 2 country schools. By the time the tornado reached the Mississippi River bordering Perry County, 11 people from Missouri died. The devastation mounted in southern Illinois as the entire town of Gorham was demolished around 2:30 p.m. There, 34 people lost their lives. During the next 40 minutes, 541 people were killed, and 1,423 were seriously injured as the tornado tore a path of destruction nearly 1 mile through the town of Murfreesboro, DeSoto, Hirschberg, and West Frankfort. In eastern Franklin County, 22 people died as the town of Parrish was virtually wiped off the map. The tornado proceeded across the rural farmland of Hamilton and White counties, where the death toll reached 65. After taking the lives of more than 600 people from Illinois, the storm surged across Washbush River, demolishing the entire community of Griffin, Indiana. Next in line were the rural areas just northwest of Owensville, where about 85 farms were devastated. As the storm ripped across Princeton, about half the town was destroyed, with damage here estimated at $1.8 million. Fortunately, the twister demolished after 10 miles northeast of Princeton. On slide 8, you will find the major cities that the tornado ran through. And on slide 9, you'll see all the counties that were affected due to the tornado. The damage and loss of life was devastating. As reported in the Red Cross disaster summary, the Midwest tornado, buildings of all kinds, residents, stores, factories, school buildings, all collapsed or were torn to pieces, frequently buried with occupants in their wreckage. There were more than 600 casualties from the storm, and more than 2,000 people were seriously wounded. Property damage reached an estimated $16.5 million. According to the Red Cross reports, Murfreesboro, Illinois, suffered the most in extensive damage, with more than 200 casualties and numerous blocks of homes, churches, schools, and businesses destroyed by wind and fire. The damage was so extensive in Griffin, Indiana, and Gorham and DeSoto, Illinois, the Red Cross constructed community buildings. With well-established network of field units in place, the Red Cross responded immediately with doctors, nurses, and emergency supplies. The federal government supplied tents for housing. Tetanus vaccines were brought in because of excessive dirt in the wounds caused by flying debris. The Red Cross First Aid, located in Indianapolis, had a car and it rushed to the scene. The Red Cross established 13 relief centers with their headquarters based in Murfreesboro. Within 10 days, Red Cross chapters received $385,000 in public donations. The Red Cross proceeded approximately 687 cases over the course of 12 months. They provided storm-impacted individuals with food, medical aid, clothing, building supplies, repairs, tools, and household goods, also transportation. By the time the disaster response ended, Red Cross staff named their relief operation the MII disaster. Missouri, Indiana, and Illinois. The program took a year to complete. The office in Murfreesboro closed on March 1st, 1926, having spent more than $2.9 million on disaster relief. The only source of media during that time was the newspaper. It allowed them to know what the aftermath was and helped them know where to find rescue relief. The biggest ethical dilemmas definitely had to be the lack of technology that was available. Even in today's record books, the total of 695 fatalities from the tri-state tornado remains the largest number from a disaster. When searching for an explanation as to why, the answer is clear. From technology to communication and the science of itself, many things have changed since 1925. Back then, radar and satellite imagery was not even close to invention. When the tri-state tornado struck in 1925, there was no such thing as a tornado watch or a tornado warning. People relied on the local newspaper, government mail, or word of mouth to relay message or communication of current events. So even if a watch warning program were in place, the message would have never been released in a timely manner to get people to the proper shelter. The American Red Cross played the biggest role of recovery for those affected by the tri-state tornado. The following are the exact guidelines laid out for them by the National Response Framework. It says, the American Red Cross is chartered by Congress to provide relief to survivors of disaster and to help people prevent, prepare, and respond to emergencies. The Red Cross has a legal status of a federal instrumentally and maintains a special relationship with the federal government. In this capacity, the American Red Cross supports several ESFs and the delivery of multiple core capabilities. On slide 16, you will see pictures of the aftermath of the tornado. You will also see a sign that says at 4 p.m. on March 18, 1925, a tornado arrived in Indiana after devastating parts of Missouri and Illinois. The town of Griffin was destroyed. The Owensville area and Princeton suffered heavily losses. Hundreds were injured, 76 were killed. Within hours, help came from nearby towns, the American Red Cross, and the Indiana National Guard. And thank you, that's all I've got.